Okay, so we're gonna start with our image. So I have the front facing camera on, so this looks like it was printed how it's supposed to be, but it's actually a mirrored image. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna cut this so that this top part, I'm gonna cut all this white off. I'm gonna do that on pretty much all the edges actually. So this side, this edge is gonna be my bottom, and then this side is gonna be the overlap. And you still don't want, you know, all this ink on the overlap anyway, because there's a chance that it could like seep through and kind of mess up like that little seam on your image. You like, if you wanted to get it perfect, you'd want, you know, these two edges to like meet up like completely, like seam to seam, but that's really hard to do. And for me, I always end up getting like either a little white line or it just looks funny. So anyway, we will cut this. You can use whatever you want. I have like a straight cutter, but my little blade's kind of going out. So I'm gonna just cut it manually. And that beeping you heard, that was my Hogg tumbler press. I just had it heating up because half the time I do this portion and then forget to turn my heat press on, so then I have to wait for that. It really doesn't take that long to heat up, especially compared to my flat one. But whenever you print using sublimation ink, the printed image, it's gonna look really dull and the colors are gonna look terrible. So, oh my goodness. So yeah, the colors that print are not what's actually going to show up on the cup. All right, so this top one, it's important to get it as straight as you can, because when we wrap it, I'll show you, it's gonna make the top edge, and it'll basically dictate whether or not you've got a straight image or not. All right, this bottom one, because of the way I sized it, I don't have to go like right up to the picture. I can leave some of the white. So when I make my photos, because I made this, like these are all pictures and stuff that I found online, and I just used Cricut design space to slice and whatever, you know, put everything together. I do it so that it is 9.29 wide by 8.03 tall. All right, so here's that cutout. That's my bottom. So I've got a little bit of my white edge there. Nothing there, just a little bit there, which is fine. And then my top. Okay, so I always use a dust towel to just like, you know, wipe the cup down. I stick my hand in it and just wipe it down. You never know if there's like some greasy fingerprints on it or whatever. Dog hair here in my case, you know, who knows. All right, so I have it face down, so it's upside down. Remember, remember to flip your image upside down. Otherwise, you'll get this. It's upside down. But that was one of my first ones. Learned a lesson. Okay, so we're gonna do this. I put it all like straight down on my table. So I'm gonna rotate this so I can see it. And then you wanna just line it up this way. So I'm doing this loosely, so that I have, you know, it's lined up, it's all straight. So then I get that, I'm just gonna hang on to it. And then this part, I'm going to just tightly squish it together and make sure that this is, you know, my overlap is the direction I want it. Okay, so you kind of want to get like Everybody says like get the air out of it, I guess. I mean, you're not seeing like air bubbles or anything, but so anyway, I do that, and then people tape differently, and then I just go and like kind of squeeze it together. Some people get like super squeezy. I don't know how to say that. I mean, I'm putting pressure on it for sure, but all right, so for that end, I did go all the way to the end and I overlapped it just a little bit. Not a ton, but a little bit. And then you go to the bottom portion here. And you know, once you get a hang of this part, it's pretty easy. It is crazy to me how much some people over tape. And this one actually turned out perfect. I got like right on the edge. Sometimes my bottom doesn't line up. I don't know why. Usually you can't tell. So yeah, so that one. Squeeze it. Oof. Oh, sorry. Off camera. Anyway. And then, oh. There we go. Okay. If you have to peel the tape back and redo a little bit, totally fine. Better to do that and screw up your cup. Okay. So that is all the tape I use. That's it. So then, I don't know if you have a Cricut, but so, oh yeah, you do. So then I've got this. I'm just gonna squeegee it, they call it. I just rub it so the tape is down tight. And then the seam where they overlap, I'm gonna run this down that too. And then depending on how close you got your cuts, if you press this way, there's going to be a little bit of an overlap like where your other paper is. So you can run your Cricut thing down and kind of like bend them together. And this will just make sure that it's more seamless, because this means that paper is touching the cut better. There's not going to be that gap. I don't know, pretty good to me. So there's that. Okay. So that is how I tape my cups. I'm going to move the camera over to where you can see the press. Okay, I'm gonna do this one-handed. All right, so this is my Hogg press. I do 356 for 55 seconds, and then I will rotate it. So we're gonna put this in. I do seam up. Squish that down. Let it do its thing, and I'll come back. I always put on a heat glove. Because I've tried, some people just use like a hand towel to do this, to touch their cups and stuff, but for me, I always burn myself. All right, so then I'm going to open this. We're going to rotate this guy around so you can see how you can kind of start seeing the image. All right, I'm going to go for another 55 seconds. You can start seeing the image shining through. All right, skip ahead. All right. So this is a step I learned from other people. All right, so you're gonna do part way. So you got it part way in, this is for the edges, and you go for 10 more seconds. Gonna rotate it again. About there. Another 10 seconds. Sorry. Crazy camera, hard to do this with that. All right, I'm gonna pause for a second. Okay, and I just flipped the cup, so this is the bottom now. The front part's in there. Doing another 10 seconds. Rotating. And another 10. So a lot of people had suggested to do this for the ghosting issues along the edge. Because I had trouble with ghosting no matter what I did. It was better with this tumbler press, but you know, still not perfect. All right, pause again. Okay, weird angle, but that's okay. All right, so I'm gonna just peel the tube. All right, so what we got? Yeah. So yeah, check out that edge. Looks great. The colors look good. The bottom edge is good. I have it the right side up. So yeah, I mean, you'll always have like a little bit, and you know, obviously the images aren't going to be completely perfect. I mean, that was pretty good if I say so myself. So yeah, it's easy. That's why I like sublimation. Alrighty, let me know if you've got questions.